Are you sure you don't want me to fit out your entire hearth-room?
Morning,
Give
everyone.
people an inch and they'll take a
Here.
mile.
Some more side questing a little bit. I finished one part of the main quest here in Gutenberg. But I got another quest from Catherine to help her out here, this fifth commandment. So I'm gonna go and check that out. Gotta go to the cemetery, talk to the grave digger, and I kind of want to talk to him anyway because maybe he can give me a clue for this body that I can't find in the cemetery. He wouldn't talk to me before, so maybe now that I can talk to him again. Isn't here, is it? No? Not here? No, this is that quest. I'm not seeing it. Oh, here. Yeah.
Oh,
Stay
your
at
mom.
grave diggers or what? This is not the same guy as usual. I don't think, anyway. Try not to drink. Trying to lose this alcoholic buff there. Needs. Says long-term abstinence will cure you. So I'm trying to do that. Because it's a little bit annoying to have to drink all the time.
Excuse me.
Are you a grave digger?
Good day to you.
No.
I would like to atone.
I appreciate your efforts, but I'd rather have...
There's always.
Not far from Horshan, Perun Spring, as the locals call it. I'm not at all pleased with the heathen name. We must prove that it has no other meaning than that which comes from Christ, our Savior. Pray over the spring, loudly, so everyone can hear you.
What penance do you give me?
Bless yourself, and say the Lord's Prayer.
Excuse me.
It's time to go.
One sec, guys. There, I'm just checking what time's my appointment today. Okay.
I would like to atone.
Your journey. Till we meet again.
I just opened that pilgrimage in case I get in trouble with the law. I can just run there and, well, not
What are
the
you
law,
doing?
but with the
Prowling about here.
I guess pilgrimage don't do nothing for your problem with the law. It just helps with your reputation with people.
You're always welcome here, noble sir. Welcome. What can I do for you?
Yeah, this is definitely a different gravedigger. That's the guy I fought to be the tough guy of the city there, unharmed.
I'd like to learn something.
Not right now.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. At least them that can speak do. True that.
I hear there was a murder here recently.
True. True. She's lying in the morgue. But who the hell are you? Another Gawker?
Another? Why would anybody...
People ain't got no respect. As soon as news spread about what was done to her, folk are always turning up to have a gawk. So if you ain't one of them Gawkers, you must be one of them other types. Well, no, you can't shave her. No, no thumb for a souvenir.
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm worried something might happen to my friend.
That's true. She wasn't the first, and we can only pray that she'll be the last. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
Serial killer.
And who is this Lumiere?
He used to work for the local bailiff. I think he knew the first one what was killed, but that was a long time ago.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you.
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big...
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that death. I think her name is Barb.
And do you know where I could find her?
She said she serves in one of the burgers' houses. So either there or in the morgue with that poor dead girl.
Thanks again, Matt.
God be with you.
Greeting.
Anything else? No. Guess I'll go to the grave first. Drop this now. Aye.
At your service, sir.
Check the indulgence chest over here. No, I'm not a sinner.
So, let's see what we have here. My God. Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place they found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards?
It's Jack the Ripper.
Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy? Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue, then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine.
Anything interesting in here? Don't make a recipe.
Oh, you pooch. Till we meet again.
Just want to have a look anyway. Fun. Nothing there. Well, not nothing, but nothing I need. Okay. Go to the crime scene. Talk to her friend.
Did you lose something here in the daytime?
Calm
Or
down.
what are you looking for here?
What was that?
There. These guys are always so hostile to me.
May God give you health, sir.
Are you Barbara? I'm told you knew Alice.
Alice. Aye. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
He couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
I heard about that. And also about Lumiere.
Well, if you're interested, go and see him. Maybe you'll catch him sober enough to talk sense.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell
it's not
anyone his
me.
name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day, she just didn't come home. And then, they found her.
It's awful what they did to her.
And it didn't even leave that untouched. Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of...
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now.
Okay. Find the boyfriend.
Lumiere?
Oh. Christ, my head.
Oh, I hope
Not
this
so
guy doesn't
loud.
want me to
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him up.
Yeah, there you go.
Here. Drink up. Better?
What? Who? What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain... girl.
I'm back.
And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumiere the Madman.
Well, you don't look crazy.
Yeah. But I am. I see things in my head that aren't real. And then I point my finger at the wrong people. I'm the biggest madman in Gutenberg.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I'm not doing it for myself. I'm afraid he might kill one of my friends.
A friend, eh? That's not good. Not good at all. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm stubborn, and I don't have any other choice. I'll get to the truth no matter what.
You think that will suffice?
If not, I'd have been dead long ago. Bled out from a human arrow.
All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls, Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor, and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, she was a maid in a German family. But she was orphaned as a child. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. The murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the 2 girls before her who ended up. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least. And his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours. That really surprised me. Because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stan?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very full.
Did you suspect anyone?
You could suspect every second man there. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him.
So if I want to learn...
Yeah.
And what about that Zdena?
Exactly. But to tell the truth, besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few.
But if her body was never found...
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Young, beautiful. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found...
Maybe she robbed the wrong people.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than...
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory.
And what about the other 2 victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a... She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots. She knew she was pretty, and knew she could do better than some...
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out.
Interesting. I'll try...
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those two dead girls now. And there's nobody else left who could tell us anything about...
Why were you looking into it? Who...
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many, Gutenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Still, the bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling...
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in this...
Exactly. There are common folk, too. There's a lot... So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere...
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until...
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And...
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. And I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4. The most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became... They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. And the last victim is Alice now. Also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were...
Good.
When you learn something more, you've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad.
I wanted to ask you about those murders. Did the dead girl...
Aside from being pretty young girls with no...
Do you think somebody...
Certainly. If somebody killed it...
But why does he even...
I don't know. Maybe...
Can you sum it...
We have 6, unfortunately, of the next one. They both hung, and the last one, they all...
Good.
When you learn, you've aroused...
Okay. Got a ton of information there. Grab this net of bloody Peter. Take special potions with them. He's puking. Funny game. Now what? Let's cover about her background. It's just around here. Go there first. Ask Master Tavern after.
You silly doggy.
It's not letting me go check out the site of the murder, right? Yeah. I lost that clue. Who am I talking to? I wanted to go there. See if there was anything interesting.
To the pillory with the lot of you.
Father,
I don't have time for theological
that's not why I'm here. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body like...
Another one murdered. Why is it you...
I fear for my sister. She's also a maid.
Yes. Fear for those close to you is commendable. What would you like to hear?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that. What can you tell me?
About Yarka.
Where did you know?
I knew her since she was...
And?
I was her uncle.
Who do you think?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to...
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind?
No, absolutely not.
Henry's a skirt chaser. Oh, fuck.
You raised her?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first.
How does that even work?
When she was small, I could.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, when she was smaller, maybe I was too.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarko was an orphan, her only chance of a good life, but the more I led her in that...
You're well off, though.
I couldn't. Even if she had been my...
How come?
The church's property. Always...
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
Why don't you respect Lumir?
That's my business. You need... I won't tell you...
But this is important. Do I look like someone who's asking out of curiosity?
All right. Lumir accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son,
A lot of hate there. for
I'll give you
priest.
some good advice. Don't listen to Lumir. That man has gone completely mad. Till we meet again.
I'm just looking there to see if maybe one of these points of interest would be where the murder was. But I guess not. I'll have to go to where it happened.
Good to see you. What are you doing? Listen.
Maybe I'll come across it this way.
Easy. Easy. Nice and slow. Go!
I doubt it.
Ja! Ka! Go! Quick! Whoa! Quick! Whoa! Ja! Ja! Whoa!
Sit around here. It's all about where the hole in the wall is. Is that another thing in my mind? Oh yeah. What's here?
Ka! Easy, good horse. Go! Ka! Go!
Drinking problem left. Sure.
This horse must have cost a pretty
A
rock.
long time to go away. I don't know if I'll be able to hold out that long without using
Whoa!
Careful!
Hey, trader.
Well, this doesn't seem too bad.
What would you like?
Show me your wares.
Got money. Anything I can sell on me? Oh, it's all on my horse. Yeah.
It looks better already.
Maybe
well.
next time then. Now just
stuff I have here? This.
I apologize.
I'll have a look at your web.
Nighthawk. I'll buy some Nighthawk. Oh, good soul.
Thank you, and come again, sir.
I wanted to see if this place
Pig sitting
lies
here.
stolen good.
What would you like?
Show me your where.
Pretty sure they do. That's it there, right? Pretty sure.
I'm glad you found what you
Yeah. They do.
needed, sir.
What can I do for you?
What's new in the city?
Nothing much.
I'll have a look at the...
That's all the same somewhere, right? Yeah.
I hope you find what you're looking for next time, good sir.
Quest for me. Maybe he's the murderer.
A regular for life.
What do you need?
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya. Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me.
Oh,
The
come
main
on,
thing
this
is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
What if I simply paid you and you... I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more.
I heard she disappeared without a trace.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping, the door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya?
Tell me something...
First, you'll have another beer.
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an So, what'll it...
I'll be right there.
I'm getting tired of this. I'll give you the money up front, and that's all you'll get. Now you're going to spill it.
All right.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tap...
What was Stanya like?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she ought...
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I think his name was Barton?
Oh, it's definitely not the charcoal burner.
Good day to you.
Or is that another girl that was seeing someone that's fancy dressed? I can't remember.
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel. He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the miners' tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one?
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while. And I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what. Like bloody. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they...
Or in this case... Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately?
Well, I got bad news for you. She had two close friends.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And the other one got married and moved...
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things...
Blood?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't...
Where can I find this?
I already told you. In the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. Also, if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know.
What will it be?
Is there another clue here?
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who...
Well, then piss off. You won't get any... All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Better men have tried it than a cock puller like you.
Cock puller? I'll fucking pull your cock clean off. You swine! Enough!
Well, had enough?
Fuck yeah, damn it. What the hell do you want from me?
Talk. Where's Zdenna?
The last time I saw her, it's a long time ago, everyone was fucking jealous. She just...
And where did she go with her loot? Do you know?
Well, she had some kind of arrangement with this fella called Pint from the mill. The one called Rabstein. She always took the stuff to him.
Do you remember what she managed to...
Mainly jewels, gold and... She had some fucking huge golden signet ring. A bloke could fuck for a whole month with something like that.
Do you know whose crest was on it?
I don't know, I'm no expert. But it were bloody expensive, that's for sure.
Do you know who she...
She always said she found it on the street. That's because if the wrong ears hear it, you can end up in the shit. Or on the gallows, even.
Did she hang out with any men?
She liked to hang around with that crooner that plays for the miners in that tavern of theirs. Made him sing songs and that. Oh, and once she got in a quarrel with that fucking priest Prokop. That was a laugh.
Could she have run away with that bard?
I doubt it. He was a bit of a milkson. He tried to be all mysterious and played a tough fella. But you could see he was lying. And
why do you think so?
Because he was getting on my nerves. So I cornered him in a dark alley one time.
And what about this priest?
I don't know. He was blabbering some shit about finding her a job.
I found a miller here. This other quest, I saved his family from these bandits. It's down there, so that's probably where it is. I'm gonna do a save here since I'm in the tower. I have a bed here.
God bless.
I don't have to drink.
Well, good day.
I'm sorry. I wasn't... Greetings.
Good. Now I...
So,
Need a clue for the seal. Find it.
Greetings.
I'd like to learn...
There's no time.
Certainly. Have no fear.
Right there. Well, it's slow going away. Probably take like a week of game time. Alright, people. I got some appointments, so I gotta run. I'll definitely make part 2 of this quest here. When I come back, I'll do another part for this video. The 5th commandment. Quest for Catherine, because, you know, Catherine's really pretty. We're trying to, you know, get to know her. Alright, see you all later. Thanks for watching.